Welcome back. Now let's go ahead and dynamically enqueue our theme files like CSS file via functions.php. So I will open the functions.php file and first let me add the PHP tag around it. And what I'm going to do is let's write down, if we want some comment we can write it down. Otherwise let's go ahead and write down our function. So I will say function my theme. It's a good practice to always append or prefix your theme name before the functions that you are creating to avoid any conflict with WordPress its own functions. So here we will say my theme scripts enqueue, let's say enqueue, and this is the function. Next is we have to add this function as an action, so that WordPress can know that there's a new function. So I will say add action, and now this action takes few parameters, this function. So the first parameter is of course its own custom WP enqueue don't make a spelling mistake, underscore scripts, and then we have to in quotes give this name of the function. Perfect. So paste it like this. Next is inside this we have to enqueue our CSS file, which is the style.css. So let's go ahead and do that. So wp underscore enqueue enqueue ue underscore style, and here we will load the style file. So we'll say style the name, and then where the location will come from get style sheet directory. So get style sheet directory, style sheet URI, sorry, get the style sheet URI is the function. So you can read in about these functions get style sheet URI, WP enqueue style on Google in the documentation of WordPress developer WordPress org. But as I already know what they do, so what w this is doing is get style sheet URI. It's giving the path of this CSS style class, which means it gives the path of the root of our theme, because that's where it is located. Okay, so now we have done this enqueue. If we go now to our theme and try to do refresh, nothing would happen. Reason is we haven't included our header dot header.php file in our front page.php. So let's do that, because now this enqueue is happening in the dynamically here, and that's where our CSS is getting loaded. But this file itself is not included in the front page. So let's go ahead and try to add it here. So here we'll say php get underscore header function will call, and similarly at the bottom we will load the footer. So here we will say footer php. Let me indent this little bit. So if I select all this here and press shift tab one more time, then I think it is looking better now. Yeah, this is much better. Save it. And if I go to the page now and refresh, perfect. So we see that our page has loaded perfectly without any issues or error. And our CSS file is also getting enqueued properly. So in the next video, we will try to enqueue our JavaScript files. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Welcome back. Now it's time to go ahead and enqueue our script files. So let's head back to footer.php and let's see what are the files we want. So this file jQuery we don't want because WordPress itself provide us the jQuery file, so we will reuse that. Drop down this drop portron file is used for the drop down, so we will get rid of this as well. What I mean by drop down is this: on our theme here we had this drop down menu. For that that drop down file is JavaScript file was used, but we don't want to do this by this way. Rather we will try to use some other things, like we will do it from CSS itself. We don't want JavaScript to do this. So now we know that we have these two files which we have to take care, these four files which we have to take care and add it in our functions Enqueue. So let's go to this here, and from here I'm going to copy this piece and let's enqueue our script files. So I will say wp enqueue script, and as I mentioned earlier, jQuery is inbuilt provided. So here I can say just jQuery, and WordPress is going to enqueue it on our uh, template for on our theme file for the jQuery automatically. So we don't have to give any path for this. Next is we need, let's say I will copy this again. So here next is we need to have the other files. So let's say this file, first file was the browser min file. So I will copy this. We have to give a name. So try to always give a unique name so that your enqueue does not get conflicted with other enqueue of WordPress or maybe of any plugin that you will install in future. So I will keep it as my theme because that's the prefix I have been using, hyphen browser. Then we have to give the path where is it located, and the path we will use is, we cannot use this path completely. If we use this path, we will be in problem. Let me show why. So I will comment this one and let's see what is this path first. So copy this thing and I will say echo and this. Let me put an exit so that the further code won't execute, and I will go to browser and reload this one. So you see this when I say the path as style sheet URI, it comes up to here, my theme, and it also takes the file name style.css. So it is up to my theme style.css. But what I want is I want the path up to here, and that I can get it with another function. So let's see. So if I copy, I will try to do an echo of the other function. So echo, and then I will say get template directory URI, get template directory URI. That's the path we need. So that will give the path up to my theme. Let's verify, refresh it. So it starts from here and it goes up to my theme. Perfect. So this is what we need, and then we can append slash assets slash whatever is the path. So slash assets slash JavaScript slash browser min. So that is what we will do. So now we can get rid of this. So this is how you can basically debug. So this is how you can debug. So I will leave this piece of code here so that it is easier for you to debug. Perfect. So now let's copy this method and go here. I will paste it here in our get template directory. This is a function, and then we have to concatenate this so that we will use dot, that's used for string concatenation, and then we will say slash assets assets slash, then we have to go into the JS folder that's here, and let's check. We can copy this path, whole path, that's fine. So I will copy this. We don't have to type to avoid typing mistake. So I'm going to paste this here. Let me try to pull this. And now if you see, this is Enqueue script, this, and get template URI, get template directory URI with the string concatenation of the rest of the file. Perfect. Keep the cursor here and press Shift Alt and keep pressing down arrow. Or Shift Alt and then continue pressing down arrow. So it will duplicate the lines for us. So next is we have to add the breakpoints JS. So I will copy that and change it here, and also change it here, breakpoints. Perfect. Then what we have, util. So I will copy this, and it's not util min, it's just util. So util, go to this and say util. That's the name of the string. It's just it should be a unique name. And finally we have the main.js. So copy this and paste it here, main, and also paste it here. Perfect. So now if we go to our browser and try to refresh, we should see all these files getting loaded. We don't have any problem with our template, but let's double verify by clicking inspect and console and see we if we don't have if we get an error or not. So here if we see, we have in the main file main.js, it's trying to access the drop-down thing, but that's fine. We will get rid of that piece of code. That's not a problem. And we see it is trying to access some images, and from within it's we are seeing that we have WordPress assets not loading properly, util not loading properly. So let's see if we have the proper spelling. ASSETS, assets, that's correct. Main.js file, this is also not loading properly. So let's see how we can fix this path. This should be correct path, but we have to see why it's not correct. So let's fix this in our next video. So thank you. I will see you in the next one. Welcome back. Now what we are seeing is we still have the problem that this we get this error and also our files are not available. So let's fix this. Ignore the image files because we have not fixed them. But we see the JavaScript files which we just enqueued, that those are also breaking. So let's go and try to fix that. So if we go to our footer file, we still have reference to this. And of course, this files it won't get. So let's get rid of this. And if I go to the browser now and try to press Control Shift R together, then I will see all the JavaScript issues are gone. Only the images are left that we don't want to tackle now. We will tackle later. And we have this function error. Let's go to the main.js file where it's complaining. So this is here. And this is the section which we have to get rid of. So delete this because we removed the drop.js file. So that's why it's complaining. So again, hard refresh, Control Shift R, and then the error is gone. Perfect. So now we don't have any error related to our script file. So everything is fixed. For these images, we don't have to worry now. We are going to handle them later. So thanks. I will see you in the next video.